So guys, we have a very serious issue right now here, and I'm doing my best to bring it up to the surface now. So many people do not know if they are crazy or not. And the question is, what's the opposite of crazy? Is it normal, or is it natural, or is it simply not crazy, or is it conscious? And this is something that makes me think a lot, because I'm realizing finally that it depends on the perspective you are. So for example, if you're conscious but surrounded by unconscious people, they will automatically have a tendency to silently often think that you're crazy. But the funny thing is, you may silently feel and think that the others are crazy. Or when we see kids playfully screaming and shouting, being wild, we may sometimes be afraid that they are too crazy for school. So we do everything we can in order to normalize them, force them to become as normal as possible, because we are so scared that our kids get thrown out of school, or But from the perspective of a kid, this must be fully crazy. Adults who tell them not to play, adults who tell them not to be too excited about life. This makes me think a little bit. And yeah, and the most amazing thing is that all people I know tell me, between the lines of course, sometimes directly too, that they think that the world is going crazy now. Normalty is becoming crazy, although we do our best, as always, to behave normal. And this is so fascinating and such a beautiful paradox. And I see it as a challenge, because to my understanding, the only difference that truly exists is the difference between unconsciously crazy, which I call normal, and consciously crazy, which I call natural. And depending on which side you or we choose to stay or shift, you will naturally find out that from your perspective, it's always the other perspective that you do not want to change to. Either because you have been there and you are bored of normality, or you feel very comfortable with in normalty and you're scared to leave normality, which is fine too, but from how I see it, it appears quite crazy. Sorry for saying this. Do not take this too serious.